someone tell me the first thing that you learned how to do when we started talking about historical fiction? Take.
I forgot.
Let me back up. Let me explain this a little bit better. When I first introduced my book, Tennyson, what did I first teach you about reading historical fiction? Stop and think about it for a minute. Samir.
In some books, they have like pictures, and that can give you ideas, and that can be your notes.
That's what we did when we read picture books. Do you remember when you went around and you read a couple of pages and you read the pictures? That's what Samir's talking about. You read the pictures because why? Sometimes the pictures do what for us?
They give you ideas of what's going on.
Say that again.
Pictures are 1,000 words.
Pictures are 1,000 words. Sometimes you get more from the picture than you do from the words on the page. So that's the first thing that we did. Now, when you were done reading the first couple of pages and you put your book down, what did I ask you to do? Just think for a minute. What did I ask you to do? You think?
Stop and jot.
Stop and jot. Stop and jot. What are you stopping and jotting?
Like character traits or new words or questions.
Character traits, new words, or what?
Ask your
Questions that you're asking yourself. What are the two different ways we've talked about of taking notes? There's two different ways. Think about it, Jacinia.
Boxes and bullets.
Boxes and bullets. What else?
Bullets.
Boxes and bullets. What's in here?
Sticky notes. Oh, sticky notes.
Sticky notes.
Yeah.
You can do both. If you're wanting to mark something in your book so that you can have a conversation about something in your book, maybe you found a question or a new word and you want to mark it, that's where you document your note-taking in your book on your sticky note. If you're wanting to do like we've been doing with Tennyson and you want to box all your characters and do bullets for the character traits, what did we discuss today when you took notes on Tennyson today? What did we have a conversation about? Give you time to think. I compared my notes to yours. That's a hint. Sandra?
You wrote like words and phrases, and you were writing like whole sentences.
You were writing whole sentences while I was doing boxes and bullets. And when you do boxes and bullets, it takes away, and it's quicker, it takes away from all the time you're spending of writing. That way, when I'm preparing for my conversation like you're going to do today, all you have to do is look in your boxes and your bullets. Whereas if you write sentences, Kyler, what do you have to do? Read. You have to read the whole thing, don't you? Okay? So, what was the second thing that I taught you? You know how to take notes. You know how to write on sticky notes. What's the second thing? And we even watched it on a CD. We watched them do it. Hannah?
Preparing for a conversation.
Preparing for a conversation. Now I want you just to stop for a minute. I want you to think about everything that I have told you about how to prepare for a conversation. And I want you to tell the person next to you 2 things that are important when preparing for a conversation. Go.
One thing.
Hands on me. 1, 2, 3. Someone share with me.
When you're preparing, you can get a little piece of paper and write down like what page you want them to go to, and you can like tell them your favorite part.
Where are you writing this?
On a piece of paper.
Okay, so she's writing on a piece of paper and a sticky note. She's writing down pages in the book that she wants to discuss with her group. How else do we prepare?
We look through our notes to see which ones that are most worth of mentioning.
Very good. Tristan?
You can look through your notes to see if you spelled something wrong, or if you don't get it, then you can rewrite it.
Are we really worried about spelling when we're preparing for a conversation?
If you can't really read it.
Well, if you can't read it. Kyler?
Mark down your favorite parts
And what happens during the conversation when someone tells you to open up that book? What are you expected to do, Caitlin?
You're expected to turn to that page and make sure that everyone's on that same page.
Do you remember the book club rubric that I made?
Yeah.
When someone tells you to turn to that page, everyone turns to that page. And we'll talk about this a little more in just a minute. Trace?
You can ask them your questions that you have.
But let's get back to, we're not in the book club yet, we're preparing. So, to prepare, what do? We go get our poster, we put it in front of us, we open our book with all of our sticky notes, and we even have our notes that we've been taking. Am I correct?
Yes.
What do? Hannah said you're going to read over your notes, you get a sticky note, and what do you write on that sticky note? Do you write a word?
No.
Do you write a phrase?
Yes.
No.
This is what I want to bring up today. When I walked around yesterday and was watching what you were writing,
Oh, that we put on our post.
what you put on your poster,
Yes.
this is what you did to prepare. Everyone had something that they wrote down for conversation. I saw some really good ones, and then I saw some that made me think that we needed to have a discussion today on writing and preparing a little bit better for our conversations. I want to use this one as an example. Right here. Do you see that that is entirely filled up? Almost? It's a lot of writing. Whereas some of these that I noticed here have one question. One question. Is that really preparing for a conversation if you write one question on your post-it?
No.
When you're preparing for conversation, you're writing down your question and what is going on in your head. You're writing down your thoughts. And that's pretty much what this overall group here did. There's a lot of thoughts. There are page numbers. There are questions. And they're thinking. That's what I expect. And that's what this last CD that we watched discussed. Okay? Now, pull out your bookmarks that I handed to you yesterday. This gives you all of the things that should be happening during your book club. Tristan, read the first one.
Be a good listener by leaning in and making eye contact.
Remember me telling you that? If you're listening, then sometimes if the person's over here, you kind of lean in. What does that do for the person speaking? If you're looking at them and you lean in towards them,
They know that you're listening.
they know you're listening. Okay, number 2, Amy.
Let the person speaking finish their thought.
Let the person speaking finish their thoughts. We don't interrupt, do we? What happens if 2 people start talking at once? One backs off. Very good. All right, third one. Tyler?
Jot notes as someone speaks to honor and reflect on his or her words.
Thumbs up if you've been doing that. Read it again. Everyone, look at your bookmark. I don't think I've seen this happen yet, and we're going to really work on this today. Read it again out loud.
Jot notes as someone speaks to honor and reflect on his or her words.
Stop and jot. While or after? While someone is talking. Why would we do that? Why would we jot while someone is speaking?
So you can remember what happened.
Maybe they're bringing up something that's important or something that you didn't put in your notes that hey, I think I should remember that. You want to stop and jot. That's called comparing your notes and combining your notes. Okay? Think you could do that for me? What are we going to do?
Compare and combine.
We're going to compare and combine. Okay? That's one thing that we're going to focus on today. Tristan?
I like whenever you're reading the book, sometimes before you say stop and jot, some of us start writing.
That's right. Some of you have already been doing that.
Yeah.
You do that in whole group, but you've not been doing that in your small book club. Okay? Colin, next one.
Be aware of any person who has gone unheard and invite him or her in.
Do we say, Jared, you haven't said anything?
No.
No. What is the proper way to include someone in our conversation? Anosha,
You say, what do you think about it?
what do you think about this? That's a proper way of asking someone to join your conversation. Hannah?
Or you could say, do you agree and why?
Very good. Colin,
Would you like to add on?
would you like to add on to that? What are these called? I agree. I think. I also want to add. What are those things called? Conversation starters. You need to make sure that you're using that. And I have to tell you, when I went around yesterday, you did a very good job at doing that. Okay, next one. Tyler. Please stay seated. I forgot my stuff. You're fine.
Listen to conversation like it's gold.
Listen to the conversation like it's gold. Are we fidgeting?
No.
Oh, I need a drink. Do you get up and go take a drink?
No.
You are so focused in, because if you're focused and you're taking notes of things that you didn't think about, you should be deep in that conversation. All right, next one. Have some of you lost your bookmark? All right, Amy?
Differences to generate more thinking.
Say that again and say it loud.
Allow differences to generate more thinking.
Allow differences. Does everyone have to agree on what you're saying?
No.
Does everyone interpret things differently?
Yes.
Use your manners and use your conversation story starters to disagree. I disagree with you, but you need to back it up. You need to say because. And that's what you have a conversation on. Hannah?
Always expect your thinking to change.
Even back when we were reading Tiger Rising, did our characters change?
Yes.
Did our settings change?
Yes.
Did we even prepared for things to change throughout the book, and we wrote those in our notes. You need to make sure that you even bring that up. Write the page number when you start to see things change so that you can bring it up during conversation. Now there's one thing that I want to bring up today because I saw it yesterday when I was walking around, and I'm going to show you on the video, and then we'll have a conversation when it's over. Okay?